Welcome to the segment I want to call Dirt. The segment where we uncover what happens when you combine the compassion of healthcare with a business model of an evil vending machine. Let's talk about Brad. Brad Carper is a pharmacist. He owns Horton Brothers Pharmacy. Independent, family-owned, seemingly charming. Probably smells like menthol and a hint of hope. One day, not recently, or I should say more recently, a patient walks in, fresh off a triple bypass surgery. Not one, not two, trace, my friends, because the first two weren't enough cardio drama for 1 week. He's holding a stack of prescriptions, looking like a human filing cabinet with no instructions. No follow-up care, no nurse navigator, just vibes and Lipitor. Now, Brad could have done what the system wants him to do. Smile, nod, count to 30, put pills in a bottle. But instead, Brad commits the gravest sin imaginable in American healthcare. He cared. He sits down with this man. He spends 20, 25 minutes explaining which medications to take, when, how, why, and what to watch out for. You know, like a real pharmacist. And the system, our sophisticated, data-driven, value-based system, rewards Brad for this act of humanity with a $33 loss. Wait, what? He did everything right and lost money? Yeah, Riley Gaines, pay attention. Here's how it breaks down. Brad buys Eliquis, a brand name blood thinner, for $575.07. Medicare Part D, through a PBM, pays him back $542.02. That leaves Brad with a negative $33.05. You know what that is? That's not healthcare. That's a reverse GoFundMe. And he's lucky because he didn't even get hit with the DIR fee this time. That's right. Even without the additional mystery clawback, he's already bleeding more than the patient. Now let's talk about those DIR fees, shall we? They're called direct and indirect remuneration, which is a long way of saying, surprise, we're taking your money. Later, without telling you. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Imagine selling someone a sandwich, and then 6 months later, a guy in a trench coat shows up, eats half of it, and demands a refund. That, my dear friends, is the PBM business. PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers. Sounds like something helpful. A lot of marketing people came up with that. But they're not helpful. They suck. They're basically the mafia with spreadsheets. They sit in the middle of every single transaction. They charge hidden fees, they set reimbursement rates, and then they cry innovation like it's some kind of TED Talk defense mechanism. PBMs do not dispense medication. They do not counsel patients. They do not offer care. They extract, they manipulate, they add absolutely nothing. But they do have one skill. They ruin small businesses one prescription at a time. Now, let's circle back. Brad delivered value. He gave a patient clarity, safety, and probably avoided a $20,000 hospital readmission, making the hospital look even worse than it already does. And the system thanked him with a financial 1-2. In any rational universe, this would be illegal. But in U.S. healthcare system, it's called Tuesday. Now, some people might say, well, Brad should just raise his prices. I get those people on X and LinkedIn all the time. They say the craziest stuff. Really? You think Brad controls the prices? Brad doesn't even control his own margin. PBMs tell him what he's going to get paid. And when Brad tries to appeal, he might as well scream into a jar and ship it to Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, CVS, Walgreens, who are also PBMs, are busy turning every pharmacy into a deodorant aisle with a side of antibiotics. And here's the part that really, deep down, no one wants to talk about. When Brad shuts down, And he may, if this keeps going. Nobody is going to replace him. There's no giant chain MBA pharmacy eager to serve rural Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, even upstate New York. There's no investor-backed startup hunting down Medicaid zip codes. When independent pharmacies disappear, patients lose access, they lose care, and they lose the person who actually knows what those pills do. But sure, let's keep rewarding the middlemen, Washington, because nothing screams healthcare innovation like destroying access to care so someone in a Manhattan office can make a bonus. So here's the message. Brad, you're a legend. You're holding the line. There's a bunch of you on X that I absolutely love, and you deserve more than a loss and a pat on the back. Patients, your local pharmacist might be the last clinician who gives you more than 8 minutes and a shrug. Cherish them. I'm telling you the truth. And PBMs, I want you to enjoy the shadows while they last because the lights are coming on soon. Changes are coming, and I hope you get knocked out. Policymakers, can you just guys grow up here? Can you guys start fixing the stuff that we voted you in for? And no, we don't need another task force. We need a sledgehammer. My friends, follow Brad Carper on X at Horton Bros Farm. This has been The Dirt. FICAP Fund invests with clinical precision. We are the new venture capital for healthcare. At FICAP Fund, we invest in entrepreneurs rethinking care delivery. We invest early in technology that simplifies physician workflows, enhances patient care, and drives operational excellence. Our network of experienced physicians, healthcare professionals, and executives validate innovations in real-world clinical settings. Physicians Capital Fund, investing in healthcare simplified. To invest, email info@ficap.com.